Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this live session hosted by RISE Jhansi Incubation Centre. I am Tisha and I will be your host for today. So, welcome to the third session of our webinar series based on the theme The Product Journey. Through this series, we are bringing industry experts to share practical knowledge that can help startups build better products and understand their users more effectively. So, today's topic is user feedback loops and validation. For any startup, building a product is important, but understanding what users actually need is even more important. So आज का सेशन फोकस करेगा on how startups can collect feedback, validate ideas, improve products continuously, and build better user experience. So for today's session, I am delighted to introduce our mentor, Mr. Hari Shankar ji. He is the founder of Machine Maker, a leading platform focused on the manufacturing and innovation ecosystem. Over the year, he has worked closely with startups, founders, and growing businesses, helping them understand market needs, improve product positioning, and build stronger connection with their target audience. Through his experience in working with innovation driven businesses and understanding user industry expectation, he brings valuable insight that will be helped highly useful for today's discussion. So we are delighted to have you with us today, sir. So, before we begin, a small request to all participants please feel free to share your questions in the chat box. We will take them after the session. So, without taking much time, I would like to invite Hari sir. Please take the stage. Sir, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trisha. It was always a pleasure connecting with RISE Jhansi Incubation Centre and also other startup ecosystem in Madhya Pradesh. See, basically, before 22 years, when I started my entrepreneurship journey, there was nothing called a startup, right? It was like we had certain courage, risk. We started. We never knew there was no ecosystem available. But today, I am very happy the way the government understand the importance of empowering the youth. Means youth means anyone who wants to start. There is no age limit for someone who wants to start up a business, right? So I'm happy and I am able to contribute myself with my experience in this journey. I hope, Trisha, you are able to listen to me. I'm audible. Hello, can you hear me? I'm not sure if I'm audible. If you can just anyone in the I hope you are all able to listen to me. No, anyway. So as Trisha told, my name is Hari Shankar, and for the last 3 decades, I work very closely with the Indian manufacturing, the entrepreneurs, innovation through media and storytelling. It was during 2004 I started my, my own entrepreneurship. Learned a lot, failed, learned, unlearned, and finally in 2018, this current platform, Machine Maker, was relaunched. And after that, whatever failures I did in my life, I was able to find answers to that. And today, Machine Maker is a global platform supporting the global manufacturing, and we are very happy supporting India's rise in manufacturing. Over these years, we had the opportunity to interact with thousands of entrepreneurs, be it from MSMEs or small industrial shed to the global manufacturing leaders, startup founders, engineers, innovators, and policymakers. And what I've consistently observed, the companies that survive and grows are not those who are having biggest funding, biggest offices, or big marketing. Yeah, you have seen that there was a startup boom in India where so many people came and invested, and sometimes we have seen that almost 90-95% of those companies have shut down due to so many reasons. So only companies that truly succeed are the one who is very close to their users, their customers, understand their problems, and continuously improve themselves. There is no other way around of success for a company. Today, India is witnessing one of the biggest startup revolution. You know that India, we are having the largest population in the world, and that strength is our people, and through them there are new ideas emerging every day. There are new technologies are getting developed, and you see that young founders, maybe you can find there are successful founders in India who are just 10 years old, 12 years old. But at the same time, we know that there are many startups which struggles. It is not because they are lacking talent, technology, because somewhere uh, we miss the real why we started. And only a business or a startup can survive when we are able to solve the challenges of an user. That is important. That we have spoke many times about that. Building something genuinely with a need of someone, building trust, and that is the biggest challenge where we are having, and that is where feedback loops and validation becomes extremely important. Today's our topic, and for me, in my journey, this made a very important. As I told you, I failed, and these feedback from our customers. I always say, before 2 days in Bangalore, we had our event. I was addressing to the people, and I told that it is each one of them who made me today. My customers were not looking for advertisement because I was selling advertisement first. And once we realized the success came because we started talking to people and they were telling that what they need. They were not just looking for branding, because I work with the B2B industry, right? So the end of the day, everything comes out with revenue generation. That is the money what we generate. But for a B2B industry, it doesn't work like B2C or a general product. It works with a lot of things. So visibility, building trust. They want credibility in factor. They want to build a community. They want to build partnerships. So in a platform with Machine Maker, we were able to bring all these things together and give it as a collaboration. Today, we have our print edition, we have our digital edition, we have video, we have social media, and we also conduct industry events, and through which we serve our customers, and we also able to meet with them, talk to them, understand, take feedback, validate it, and then we are growing. The best products in this world, the best companies in the world, the best ecosystem wherever it is created, it was not just made in some isolation, or it have not just created like that. That was only built through listening to their customers, understanding through conversation, failing many times, and then correcting is, and through continuous improvement. Today, India why India is becoming a startup nation. It is not because we are creating these startups to give solution to the real world, be it in manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, logistics, education, sustainability, deep technology, defense, MSMEs, rural development. The list is endless. So any startup which is there in this area, they have great potential. Continuously learning is something what will be the greatest strength of successful founders. And today, through this presentation, I'll be sharing some thoughts how startups can build stronger products, reduce risk, and create meaningful long-term impact through user loops and validation. So I would like to start this this presentation. If we can go to the first slide. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I'm audible, right? In between, I asked, then I think there was some network issues. You are able to listen me?
Yes,
Yeah,
now you are.
thanks. So why this topic matters? Every successful startup begins with understanding a real problem, and just having a technology, we will not be able to build successful companies. As I told you earlier, the companies can only survive with continuous listening, learning, and improving ourselves. This presentation is all about how startups can build stronger products through continuous user feedback and you know taking the user insight and continuous development. 90 percentage of the as failures happens because we fail to listen to our customers. So if this is Very important we start listening. Can we go to the next slide? So here we are talking about our the user feedback loops. Many startups fail. It is not because they are not having a good product. Sometimes we are building a product, actually the customer, they don't need or they don't know how it needs to be used. You know, today it is very faster world, the speed is very, very important. But more than a speedy launch of a product or a speedy delivery, it is also important that the direction is right. For bringing that direction, it is always important to validate each steps what we are doing in a startup. How you validate, where the validation comes from. So first of all, when a startup idea, someone wants to start something, he starts shares with his family, he starts sharing with his friends. Sometimes he starts sharing with nearby ones. From there the validation starts, and once you are from there you get confidence. Okay, otherwise you validate yourself. Okay, this is something what you can do. And once you start building something thing, it is important that you go back to the user, the real pain points. If you find out the actual market demand, we can find out, and the user expectations, if you are able to include, so that we can reduce the product gaps. Not only this validation can help startup to grow, but it can also help people to avoid wasting our time, money, and energy. Not only yours, sometimes you will be also having some people who are going to work with you. The direction, a direction for you first, and then all the team members will help to take this your mission successful. We should start focusing solving the real problem, not assumptions. And some of the times, we assume. If you see, assume, a double s u m e is the uh, if you the spelling that if you can divide it, you can make an ass out of you and me. That is assume. So instead of assuming, instead of getting judged ourselves, go to the customer, understand. A startup becomes successful when users feel the product was built for them. When I am having my startup, when I am having my platform, when that platform is used by someone else themselves. You see Facebook, for example, this StreamYard is a platform which is a very successful platform, which we are taking this support to have this webinar. Same way it is used in YouTube. So these are all platforms, but now YouTube owner don't know that what we are doing. StreamYard owner don't know. They have done their job, they have made a product, validated, and it is getting used. I hope this is correct. And as Trisha told, if you have any questions, please ask in the chat box. We will come and answer you. Can we go to the next slide? Why validation is important? Validation, as I told you, how to validate, right? By validating is by going back to these people, understanding uh, the real problems and telling them. So why this validation is very important? It can only give you that are you really solving a real problem. I will tell you, when I started in 2004, I had a magazine. When I go to the customers after 2 to 3 years, I realized that this is not something what really people need. But I continued from 2004 to 2017, 13 years I lost. But it was sometimes, the self belief that, what I am doing is right. And I was making money. It is not that I was surviving, I was making money. But somewhere, that sometimes the conviction, the too much of confidence, conviction, and sometimes we fall in love with the product what we make. So sometimes the people come and criticize us. This is not good. Sometimes we cannot hear because we are very confident in what we are doing. That can be a big challenge. Most of the startup founders have. So it is our product can be good until and unless if it is not used by the customer, it will not help it to to run as a business. So how we can understand what are the critical questions you need to answer for having a validation? Is this problem important? Will users adopt the product what I am using? Very importantly, will users pay to it? Or is there a long term market demand for this? By having proper validation from the customer, it reduces uncertainty and improves confidence before scaling. So we need to scale up, right? If you are looking at improving it, if you are looking for a long term basis, let me tell you, validation is today more important than valuation, especially in the early stage. Valuation is the company valuation is not very important. It is the validation which will take the confidence, if you also, and confidence of the users in your product also will improve. Can we go to the next slide? So what is this validation journey? One is exploration, market exploration. Before we start, eventually we have a product. Maybe the market exploration starts, market research starts much before that, like the ideation. From the ideation, we go to the people, we go to some of the people we understand, and we make a prototype, or we make the first, and then what we do, we try to go to the uh, one once the prototype are made, or even much before the prototype is made, what we do is we understand the market. We understand why, if there is a product already there, if there is not a product there, why people need, what are the challenges. That is, the identification of the challenges are important. What are the struggles a user is facing where you are giving a solution? Identify gaps and then opportunities and create. That is the market exploration first. The second thing is that once you understand all this thing, you develop a product. Now you launch the prototype, or you launch a particular sampling, and then you see what are the real user reactions, how the user is reacting to your product, are they using it, and then you will start getting the feedback. Array, this is good, this is bad, you can improve in this. ये तो बहुत अच्छा है, but you need to improve. Someone will tell that it will not work out. So you will have mixed reaction, and you need to see that what to take to ensure that this product is running. Improve continuously, and I'm telling you, and everything, it is also important process and systems. Today there are lot of solutions we get, lot of platform we get, so that we can create our uh, products, or we can create whatever we are doing in a process and system. Improve continuously. Build a system to get the proper data, and data analysis is very important. बहुत सारे लोगों के पास डाटा होता है, but data analysis करके उसको change करने के लिए लोग नहीं होते हैं. So improve continuously your product through the data analysis, it get the feedback, and then you need to make the product is fit for the market, and then only the growth will come. Then only you can do the scaling. And the validation journey, what I am talking about, it is not a one-time process. It is a continuous process. Today, some of the biggest companies in the world continue the validation process, because it is the user, or whatever product, whatever you are using, whatever product we are having, it changes. The market is very dynamic. The same way the customer is dynamic, so you need to be always dynamic in the validation journey of the product. Can we go to the next slide? How to identify your target users, or what is the importance of identifying your target users? When I wanted to start the magazine or relaunch the magazine, I wanted to have a magazine which appealed to everyone. But then, and I want to do it for India, maybe globally. But then there were people who are coming, and that you are in Maharashtra, you are based out of Pune. Why can't you first look at that market? And being into the B2B industry, I was telling that it doesn't work, because I need to have a global outlook, or I need to have an Indian outlook. But after so many years, today I feel that the kind of potentiality Today also, what machine maker is having now, we are globally, as you told, that we work globally. Our team goes to Singapore, Europe, gets invited to US. But I believe that there are so much of work we can do in Pune itself and scale 100 times than what we are doing. That is a kind of potentiality. So when we are doing a startup, especially when we are going to test our products, we should not try to serve everyone. We need to have a specific target audience, and the strongest startup today was able to understand that. And then they were able to understand the user behavior, daily challenges, expectations, and existing alternatives. I come from Kerala, very small state, but many times because of the user behavior, the multiple user behavior they have, the kind of exposure what Malayalis got from the. Now I'm not talking today. The entire India have changed. I'm talking about even before 20-25 years. Cities like Kochi was considered to be a great place to test their product because the people there was very much cosmopolitan. There were people from Kerala who had exposure going to the Gulf, to the Europe, Canada, US from very very big time. So India is a diverse testing ground. We have different cities, we have different industries, we have different age groups, we have different economic grounds. So you need to add everything. You need to find out all these things, and you will get a lot of support today. The deeper you understand your users, stronger the your product becomes. See, whatever I am trying to talk today, when you are applying it in your business, this is where we will be able to get the results. Can we go to the next slide? Now, our next step is collecting customer feedback. As I told earlier, the real conversation is the which can create the real impact because you are getting the real insights. Just analysis, as I told you, assuming or assumptions cannot help us change our product. It is only by speaking to our users we will be able to get results. Now, there are technical people, who are very comfortable in doing technical innovations, but they will be very shy or they will have their inhibitions in talking to people. But until and unless you try to talk to them, so you can have some user interviews, you can have some surveys are always good. You create a form, you try to find out, and then you go and talk to them. That is important. And sometimes if that doesn't work out, if your product is going to a very, you can create social media for feedback. Today everyone is in social media, try to use that. You create webinars, you do customer support interactions to understand the product and its usage behavior. Understand one thing: if anyone is criticizing you, if anyone is giving you negative feedback, you don't have to take it personal. If you are not getting challenged, the humankind was never able to grow if they were not challenged. If someone is really coming and telling you something, that means you are on the right track. Someone genuinely want you to grow. So be very positive and start asking people honest feedback, and take steps to implement those. Next one. Yeah, testing assumptions and ideas. Now, this is very interesting. I was telling that don't assume, but an idea starts when a founder starts. It's all the thought process. What we are having, the idea is starts. Every startup start with assumption, but the validations helps convert assumptions into knowledge. Before scaling up, it is very important that we test problem relevance, user interest, adoption of willingness, and pricing acceptance. You create a wonderful product, but if it is not into the level, there is a problem. So build small, the focused market, as we told, test early, and learn. You need to fail faster. Fail faster learn quickly, and improve continuously. Small experiments only can prevent large failures. So there is no, see, whatever I am trying to tell is very, it can be what I'm telling you, the marketing or the business is very dynamic. Certain certain points will work for someone else, certain points will not work. So whatever business we are in, those we need to apply for our business. It can be different. The idea, the laws can be same, but the pilot programs or the testing can really help to understand are we going on the right way or not. Ideas are great, but if it is going to be in the idea stage, we will not move anywhere. And there is only one way to overcome from ideas to execution is by validating it with your customers. Next. So we are coming to the step 4, that how to validate the product features. Now the products, each people are having different. Some have services. They some sell the services, some sell the products. Most of the IT we have seen that most of them are IT enabled services. So many times, if there is a new product available, or if it is an alternative, a new product, or if it is a completely new product for a user, users always see what are the features which creates more value to them. First of all, we don't have to overbuild our products. As I told you, we need to create a small community, a small focused target area, create a product, and ensure that our product is getting used by certain people. And we need to ensure whatever features we are using, we are building, that they are using it. See, sometimes we take phones, sometimes we take watches. Many times we are not even able to use the complete solutions what they are giving because we don't know. So making a product with 100 features may not really add value to the product. So you need to first create points which solve points, pain points. You need to create features that solve the pain points. And once that is done, from there we need to start improving experience. Actually, in certain cases, I found out when people are having certain products, they have a lot of features. By removing some of the features, people get more adoption. Simple products solving real problems outperform actually complex products. But when I am talking about this, I would like to just give you an example of the new age phones. Earlier, it was we had the feature, we had this normal phones, button phones. From there, we got that smartphones. It was a big revolution. The user were getting great transformation. The impossibilities were made possible by these companies. But today, it is becoming a very important thing for these people to launch a new product every year, ensure the users are taking different versions. See, today it is more than, now it is a feature heavy product. It can be affordable by brands because for them they want someone to use. Some I am using around 10th version, 11th version. They want, okay, I am updated. That is the status today. But for a startup, we do not have such kind of things. What we need to do is even one thing, like if you see when iPhone started, it is the change from the button phones to the display phone have transformed. They have transformed the industry. Today, as a startup, we need to see that whatever challenges we are facing, we need to have such feature which is accepted by the user. A user gets a value out of it. Can you go to the next slide? So, how we will be able to do the minimum viable product testing approach? See, some of the things, whatever I told in the beginning, now it can overlap. See, minimum viable product do not means bringing out perfection. So every time, perfection is not a one time, it is a continuous journey. I told that learning, unlearning, being failure, and then coming to a product, it takes time. But when we are having a minimum viable product, we can learn quickly. You don't have to make everything perfect in day one. You have years to come. First is build, launch, learn, improve, repeat. So my message to all of you is, do not wait for perfect products. Come with a product which is helpful to the people, and then your user behavior teaches you more than any internal discussions, any product developments, what you are going to have hours and hours in your office. Go ahead and start with your customers. And we are all here to support you on that. But as early as you test your product, you will get the customer support. You start doing that and continues it as a cycle. Next one. So how we can measure whatever we have told till now, or our product or our process, whatever you are doing is successful. It can only be successful whatever data we are collecting is used meaningfully, and decisions are taken through those data. Otherwise, whatever exercise we are doing will not make any difference. See, whatever I am talking is not something rocket science. This is all there. But what happens in a journey, we fail to use that. If it is me also with all these telling, sometimes in a product cycle, in a regular business, I miss out these things. Retention of customers, engagement with the customer, satisfaction of the customer, repeat usage of your product or your services. These are all the measuring points of your product success. It doesn't matter in Facebook or LinkedIn, you have so many followers, your product is success. It is about how many time your product is used by your customer. The real metric for measuring validation or its success is whether users continue using your product. Are they coming again and again to this product, to your product is very important. Next one. So how we will be able to do the, like we are collected the data. Now collecting just the feedback is not enough. We need to act on feedback. Continuous improvement will build a better user experience for the customer. It will also create the stronger customer trust, because people will know that, okay, if we are going to give a feedback, they are going to hear. And this will improve the product usability, product maturity, and the market credibility. And you have seen that, building a product will take years, and losing the name will only take seconds. How you and by listening to those from your customers, most successful startups evolve significantly from their original idea. Great, you understand one thing, great products are built through continuous refinement. It was not one time, it is on a continuous way. Any product, if you see, that happened through that. Can we go to the next slide? What is the importance of creating feedback loops? Any strong startups, they were able to be success because they were connected, stay connected with their users. And for that, you need to bring this user and feedback system part of your culture of the company. You need to put it as a value. You need to put it as something what everyone working in the company knows the importance of creating these feedback loops. Listening, tracking, responding, and improving in a system can help you people to do that. It is not about a single customer today. It is all about building the community, be it in the digital way or be it in the physical way. Building communities will help you to build a long term growth for your organization. Next one. What are the common validation mistakes? As I told you, if we are going to build something with assumption, if we are going to build without understanding the real problem, we should avoid that. A big no no of ignoring customer complaints. Listen to your customer, hear them, understand them, sit with them. You need to ensure he is taken care of. Ignoring customer complaints can make your startup lose heavily. Another thing is you don't have to add so many features early. First, get the product validated, get it run, and then always additional features can be value, which can create value in the coming days. Don't go into, you know, vanity metrics. It's not required. People go and collect feedback. Unfortunately, they will not implement changes. What is the help in that? Focus is the only biggest strength in successful startups. And one thing what I would like to tell is you don't have to satisfy everyone. You don't have to satisfy everyone. In our house, we cannot, if you have father, mother, sister, brother, wife, husband, you know that you cannot satisfy everyone. This is more happens because in the house, at least we give time and all those things. With the customer, we don't leave, right? We don't know their culture. So they are also having a lot of stuff. So what you need to do is focus, focus on your product, and then you don't have to satisfy everyone. You satisfy one, they will satisfy other two, and it will grow. That is important. Next one. So I'm sure almost we have got into around 37 minutes. This session is helped you in understanding certain points. I am trying to talk from my experience also. Today, having a user feedback today or earlier also, but earlier time, the communications, if we need to take a feedback from a customer, someone needs to visit, sit with them and take that, the real physical. If it was not that you need to send a letter to them, they need to write, they need to come bring back. Today things have changed. The communication becomes so faster, within a second you will be able to take a feedback from someone. If it is complex, that's a different issue, but for a startup and all those things, there are so many ways of getting feedbacks. Use it. And once you do it, once we are going to bring validation, it will reduce the risk of closing of your startup. And once, as I told you, don't think that, I started with this idea. Now I need to finish with this idea. No problem. Idea, you started with an idea, good. But once you are going and reaching out to the customer, they are going to tell 100 things. But what is best for you, you need to select and evolve. Being evolved is very important. You should continuously listen, learn, improve, and adapt. I'm telling you, with my experience, our country is the best country to live, and we have the greatest potential to become the global innovation hub. A long term success will only come for you when you are solving meaningful problems. I must say only one thing, the future belongs to the startups only. And those are those startups who are being close to your people, your users. Those are the people who are going to grow strong. You are hearing about the GCCs, Global Capability Centers. Why it is coming here? Why not other places? Why? Because today also Indians are having more capability than any other people. So, and we can adapt, we can adopt, and we as a community are very resilient. Our resilience is very great. We accept, we give space to everyone in the world. We are a very welcoming community. So when these things happens, so we cannot depend upon outside people to just come and put their money and build capability. Tomorrow if they will go, what you will do? So that is where the importance of startups comes. That is the importance of the ideas comes when our youngsters, our people build opportunities for our people in the country, and we start making money for ourselves as well as the community. As a business people, you please understand, I don't know. In India, there is a problem. Maybe it is because of the East India Company, a company named East India Company. It was the British, were known as East India Company, who came and looted our country. So basically, our people think that company is a bad word. But let me tell you, it is a thankless job you startups people are doing by starting an entrepreneurship to give employment to the people here. If you are even employing one person, you are paying salary. It is not a small thing. You are doing a service to the nation. You are respectful to our governments, and the government is also employing people by the taxes what they are creating. See, somewhere revenue is coming, that revenue is budgeted and it is used, and some people get salary. That is how the entire economy works. So the contribution what each startup owners are doing is really very uh, big and important. So from an idea to making a big product, it needs certain systems, it needs certain processes, it needs people. For any product to success, customers are required, and only customer loving your product means you are solving one challenge of them. Validation validation and feedback become one of the biggest part in it. Thank you. You are muted.
So sorry. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. Now it's time to take the questions. So our first question is, what are the best ways for early stage startup to collect honest user feedback?
Hmm. Can you repeat the question, please? What are the
Best ways for early stage startups to collect honest user feedback.
go and sit with the customer. There is no
Uh,
other way. That is the only way. See, communication is not by what is being told, what is spoke. The communication is how it is told, the expressions. So there was a South African customer which came to India. I was talking to him. He was telling that understanding an Indian telling yes is very challenging. And it was very easy for him to understand a German. German is very direct. So different people have different this thing. But understanding Indian people for a South African is very difficult. So I am sitting like this. So you can see that what is my this thing. I laugh, you can understand. So these expressions, these are feedback. There are sarcastic feedbacks, there are real feedbacks. There some people try to pull our leg. You need to understand all these things. Some otherwise sometimes they if that is not a honest feedback, we can fail. We are doing something good, someone is trying to give you something in writing, how can we do? So for getting honest feedbacks is important, and that can only happen through one to one. So go and sit with the customer
Got it. So next question is, at what stage should a startup begin building proper feedback loops with users?
before starting your startup.
Got it, sir. So
There is
next question.
see,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell is there is no time. See, I will tell you who is your user is important. First, when we are having an idea in our mind, we are going and asking someone to validation, right? I am thinking about starting this product. Do you think that it is useful? if there is a husband or wife, they will tell, first of all they think, अरे इसको सैलरी मिल रहा है, जॉब छोड़ के जाना है, हमारा फैमिली का सिक्योरिटी, दैट इज द कंसर्न. बट दैट देयर इज अ फीडबैक कमिंग somewhere. But then once from there we get some confidence from the family, and when we start, and when we are going to the product, when we are starting before starting the products itself, we go and start talking to the people. You please understand, you already made uh, taking feedback. What happens when the product is made, because we are so busy somewhere in the entire process, because the systems are not in place and every work needs to be done by founders, we may miss. That should not happen. So from the early stage itself, we need to ensure that what you started by asking questions to people should continue. Next.
So next question is improving in initial stage is a good idea.
100%. Otherwise we will work on a bad idea for 10 years. Look at me. I worked with a product which 13 years, 14 years I ran it. When I realized 2004 I started, by 2008 I realized that I am not doing the right thing. But I continued till 2016, 17. Who lost? I lost. I lost. No one else lost. People who worked with me lost because they trust me and came, right? End of the day. So if I'm failing, the people who are there with me fail. So improvement is from day one. Again, whatever we are telling is minimum. But I'm not, again, I told, I'm not talking to you about rocket science. I'm talking about some behavior, some thought process, some experience. And these are all basic things which is there even when I study in our school, colleges. Only we are improved when we are going to rectify our mistakes. Whatever we are learning, we are doing on the right way of learning, we will get good marks. So improving initial stages is a wonderful idea. Please do it.
So next question is how can negative feedback be converted into product improvement opportunities?
Not take any feedback into your heart. It is not hitting your ego. That feedback needs to be analyzed as a data, and data should match with the product. Whatever feedback is doing, ये तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट दिखने के लिए खराब है, अच्छा यूज सही है क्या? दैट मीन्स द एस्थेटिक्स ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट्स नीड्स टू बी मेड डन. अरे तुम्हारा प्रोडक्ट बहुत सही दिख रहा है बट काम यूज नहीं कर रहा, बिकॉज सो इट इज द फीडबैक इज नॉट पर्सनल. When how we feel that it is a negative feedback because it is hitting your ego. Otherwise every feedback is a constructive feedback when it is looked at in a data point based time. Next.
So next question is what role does user feedback play in retaining customers and improving user experience?
That is only one way. If some customer is telling that आपका प्रोडक्ट, अच्छा आपका प्रोडक्ट और कोई नहीं है, you can play with that. आपको चेंज नहीं करना है, ये चाहिए तो ले लो, because you are having a big market. There is no competitors. जो आप दे रहे हो और कोई नहीं कर सकता. There is no role. You can improve, you listen, you laugh, you can increase price. But if you're a startup and if you're improving the product, and if the user is not happy, they will not purchase this. They can sit in ego. We cannot have ego, but our customer can have ego. So it is only we can retain customers by taking care of their emotions also. You will find out a lot of things. For example, we need newspapers. Sometimes today there are no newspaper vendors in cities like Bangalore, Pune. Very difficult to get a vendor. There is only one vendor. If you are having a trouble with that fellow, you can only stop the newspaper as an user. So as a newspaper vendor, if I will only make money when I am able to give the newspaper to everyone. But ego leke अरे इसका दो you don't make them happy. Even a newspaper vendor can create problem. A milk vendor can create problem. But we are talking about startups which is solving people's life, people's things. So if you need to have your customer, you need to listen to them and ensure that you go and tell them in some way, I listened to you and I changed. That builds confidence in you, that builds trust, that also satisfies their ego.
Next question: how do startups avoid building features users say they want but never use?
That we see, first of all, we are making a product with certain points, and once that is established, then we now here the product, for example, a website we are building, and then how earlier sign up was their top. Now we, once the people are using, we create 2 3 places, it is for the betterment use. So that is, once the product is validated, only we can bring. What I am trying to tell, I am not telling that avoid building features, that is very much required, but that is on a stage when it is required. Today as a startup, what you need to do is, you have features which you don't have the luxury. When you build features, you have the luxury to tell people that you please go and use it. You advertise, because of this you get this, because of this you get this. Earlier, when in mobile, when we used to see the this cricket match, we need to have the horizontal, otherwise half dikega. Today they have given a new feature, like vertically also you can see the video. You see, you can see both, but that was a product expansion. And today this geo or any other platform which is airing this, have the luxury and platform to create that kind of user experience and ensure that they come and watch their channel only. But as a startup, do we have that luxury? So use your resources to build the right features. Once you're scaling up, your growth is different, that's a different story.
So, next question: if customer feedback conflicts with the founder's vision, how should we balance both?
If the customer is not there, what we will do with founder's vision? We need to evolve. You cannot balance both. You cannot balance both. That's what I told you. We should not, that till the time, yeah, it is very difficult, because as I told you, as an entrepreneur, he comes because he's having a high ego. He believes what he's doing is right. That enables him to take risk. As I told you, I thought whatever I'm doing right, I lost. So today, the customer also reacts very fast, and there is the loyalty of customers have came down, because customer do not have time to think about anything else. They are also very busy. So they will forget you if you are not going to take care of their response. I'm not telling that compromise. You don't have to compromise, we don't have to balance, we need to understand, we need to analyze. And again, I'm telling you, analyze on data, analyze on data, don't assume. Again, customer feedback is an assumption problem. Founders belief system is only on ideas, on assumptions problem. Now the idea connected with the data given by the feedback of a customer, it is where we need to evolve. Again, I'm trying to tell you, whatever we are talking is, it can, this can apply differently in different industries. This is not universal what I am talking about. So there can be different cases where the strong thought process of the founder is very 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 important for a future what customers itself is not going to see, where someone is walking ahead of the technology. There are reasons there. But as I told you, you need to identify that 10 customers. You need to identify that one customer who trusts you, who believe you, use it and come and tell, yes, this helped me. He will bring you more customers. Next, if it is there, you need to. Yeah,
Section.
I already
Yes.
told you, sit, have a honest discussion with the customer. When a customer is telling negative feedback, there are 2 3 things. One is frustrating because he's not happy, his emotion is hurt, his ego is hurt. You need to be strategic. Sometimes you cannot be very direct, but an open discussion can only satisfy. You need to satisfy the customer emotions and challenges, then only he will come back to you. Only because of that, we cannot see. I will tell you only one thing: you cannot create a customer. Can you create a customer? So we have limited customers. We need to work with those customers. So you sit with the customer, be honest with them, and I'm sure if you are, they will listen to you when they feel you are genuine, and they will come and work along with you. Again, there is nothing called a negative feedback. There is constructive feedback. Whatever it is coming to is a constructive feedback. If you want to take that feedback into destroying it, or if you want to take it to take steps, is important. Again, I am telling you, the feedback coming from the customers also need to be validated. If that is a wrong step, it can also hurt us. Tisha, I hope I was able to answer and
Yes, sir. So we have already covered all the questions. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights and for answering all the questions. I hope सभी के doubts आज clear हो गए होंगे. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a great day. Thank you so much.